Wow. Just wow. Wow. What an astonishingly significant first episode of The Promised Neverland. What's up, guys? This is Uzumaki Clan coming at you with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and my first impression on the first episode of The Promised Neverland. Now, for those of you who are either newcomers and just started getting into The Promised Neverland, you may or may not have known that this is an ongoing weekly Shonen Jump manga written by Kaiyu Shirei, which started in 2016 to now. And also, if you're wondering, yes, I am caught up with the manga, and for those of you who either haven't read the manga yet and want to go right ahead and read the first chapter and then come back, that will be fine, because I'm going to be heading into the heavy spoiler territory in this video, which you can see from the title of this video that I am heading into the spoiler section, so I can compare the first episode to the first chapter of the manga. So kick back and relax as I tell you guys my thoughts and what do I think of the series so far from what I've seen, from my first impression, and is it, in my opinion, is it worth watching? So, for those of you who may not have known what The Promised Neverland is about, The Promised Neverland centers around these three children, Emma, Norman, and Ray, and all these other children who live in this orphanage. And at the start of the series, their life is for the most part, very, very comforting, very joyful, very hopeful. And then all of a sudden, one day, both Norman and Emma go to give back a lost toy, which a former child who once lived in the orphanage, which they thought was adopted. They go and try to give her back her toy, and then all of a sudden they make a huge discovery that this orphanage is not what they thought it would be, and their mother, who was basically the main caretaker of this orphanage, who they all called her Mama, / Isabel, is really a farmer who's pretty much putting all of these kids in a slaughterhouse so they could be eaten by these creatures called the demons. And from this point on, they have a plan for them and the other children to escape. And it is actually a very surprising, heavy story, from the beginning all the way till the end of the first arc of the series. So from what I can tell you for so far, because I don't want to get into huge spoiler territories, I just want to give some small details of what the manga had that the anime didn't. So for starters, I'm going to be getting into the episode. By the way, the title of the first episode is 121045. I can't remember if it has to do with one of the tags, because that's definitely not Connie's number. Connie's number was in the fours. So from what I can tell you so far, not much has changed, but just small details. For instance, in the beginning of the episode, we get a glance of the three main characters when they were children. That was not used until, I believe, chapter 4 or 5 of the manga, where you had a little flashback of them talking about a gate and what lies outside of the gate. So I liked how the anime did that to kind of introduce us to the kids and their thoughts about the outside world. Also, the game of tag was a lot different than it was in the manga, actually. In the manga, they, instead of Dawn getting jealous of Norman for beating him, it's really Emma, which you did see, but it's a lot more, it's a lot more focused on Emma than it is on Dawn. And one other thing is Connie's conversation, which she was telling Emma and all the other kids about her wanting to be a mother and her caring about kids. That was before she left, and I'm glad that they kind of had it to make it more surprising. However, it was a little different. It really doesn't change much. So, from all the small details that I can say from the difference between the anime and the manga, I can say that not a whole lot has changed. This just small little bits, but nothing really huge. Really. Now, the studio company who animates the anime is Cloverworks, which, if you guys don't already know, they are also the same company which produced Fairy Tail. And to tell you the truth, I can kind of see it, but at the same time, I kind of see a little bit of studio bones from what I saw in the anime. Also, I loved the kind of